Um,
Welcome to the Olancy podcast. Today we are talking about the Newcastle game that happened on Monday night at home. Andrew, neither one of us got the score prediction right. You were close with the scorers. You chose Palmer and Jackson. Obviously, we got a third.
Mudryk snuck in, yeah. I was pretty fucking close.
You were very close. You were very, very close. And also, while you mentioned it, what a goal by Mudryk. I mean, to be fair, all goals were
Yeah,
pretty good, to be fair. But I have to admit, the Mudryk
both
goal
of us.
was tasty, very Hazard-esque. Actually, there's been a lot of people showing Mudryk's goal against Newcastle and Hazard's goal against West Ham, where he
Yeah.
basically went through the middle. Very
He
similar.
absolutely mugged off a young Declan Rice in that, I remember.
Yeah, he probably did. What were your thoughts on the game? I mean, it finished 3-2, a bit cagey towards the end. Your thoughts?
The whole game I was worried it was gonna be a bit cagey towards the end. Um, Even after we got the first goal, I was like, yeah, that's great. We started well. We don't often necessarily start well. We like to concede early and then have to try and win it back and then try and get in front and then concede a goal late on. But we started brightly. And for most of the first half, I just don't think Newcastle's front three were in the game at all. Like I don't remember Anthony Gordon being in the game at all. I didn't realise Isaac was on the pitch until he scored. Um, so I think first half generally we were very good. Again, I think we kind of gifted them a goal by pissing about with it at the back, and then the ball just kind of broke to them.
I think both goals came from mistakes. If I'm brutally honest, I think both goals came from us making mistakes. The
What was
first
the
one
second
was
one?
multiple mistakes.
Yeah,
The second one was Murphy's goal. And as soon as I saw
yeah,
it coming on, I was like, Jesus Christ, you know what? This guy's got a goal in him. I thought he'd start. As soon as he came on, I was like, do you know what? I have got a feeling he will score. It was when Cucurella came off his line again and he didn't get goal side. He went around the
yeah.
outside rather than coming inside to try and get in front of the ball. And he does that. And every time he does it, I swear, most of the time, the opposition score. I mean, maybe the keeper
You're
could
right.
be a little bit better at the near post, but it was an absolute bullet of a shot. Like he couldn't have got the precision any better.
Yeah.
But again, it's another mistake. So
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. He gambled and he gambled the wrong side as well. I think you've always got to gamble goal side if you're going to do that.
or you just got to make sure you're gonna do it, or you got to take the man
Yeah,
at the very least. But
he fully took himself out of the game by going the wrong side and made it easier for Murphy than he had to. But you can't take anything away from Murphy. He's absolutely thunder cunted it in the goal hole there. So
yeah, I mean, and you are right. I don't think Newcastle were really in the game. I mean, I thought they defended quite well overall. Um, but other than that, I don't. I think we bossed the midfield. I
mm,
think we definitely were better in defense than they were in attack, bar the mistakes that we made.
yeah,
Um, the first goal, Gusto does those two kick ups in the air over his head, loses the
yeah.
ball. Then
He
Chalobah loses
tries to head it
control.
away and doesn't get much on it. And
Chalobah loses the ball control, and then Dizazi's left open. And to be fair to him, I get it, but I still think he should have got tighter. And actually, again, Isak did the right thing. He's committed the man. He's played the ball quickly outside, and he shot so the goalkeeper's blind. Like he can't see the ball.
it's very
Oh,
Thierry Henry esque for me that goal.
yeah, I,
Just
I
to
agree
open the
with that.
body and like bend it round bottom corner. I thought it was a very good goal.
It was, but I
Uh,
think
I'm not sure there was. I don't think Zazie did a hell of a lot wrong, but
no, I just think he
in
needs to
the
get
ball away.
tighter. I just think he needs to get tighter.
Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't want if I was Zazie in that position. I'd be very upset if my name was brought into the why we conceded a goal. I don't think he did a lot wrong at all, but
It's
we
not. I'm not saying it's his fault by any stretch of the situation, because like I said, Gusto's that was the only mistake Gusto made all game.
yeah,
That was the only mistake that Chalobah made all game.
yeah,
And all I'm saying is I would like to see Dizazi get tighter. I've said this before, but at the end of the day, if the other two defenders are in position, they don't make those mistakes. He's not left wide, in that big space that he's got to cover.
yeah.
So I don't hold him responsible by no means. No, absolutely not. Having said that, it was his 26th birthday. I didn't realize he was actually 26, apparently. I thought he
Yeah,
was a bit younger.
but it wasn't. He was 25, and then he turned 26 on the day.
Well, yeah, no, I get that, obviously, but I still thought he was younger than 25. I thought he was about 22. Um,
No, he was the sort of main experienced buy that we kind of got in.
yeah, you
Which
see that that's the bit
25 is
that's the bit that
mental.
worries me. Like he's 26, he should be coming into his prime, and we'll be like, oh,
Well, no, for a centre back, you'd be like 28, 28, 29.
oh, so another
That's
one
their
for the
prime, I
future.
think.
Excellent, excellent, great. Got 2 years of before he gets into his peak years. Um, what did you think about our goals? Starting off with Jackson's, the cheeky back heel.
It was a good flick. Um, you never know with those like actually how much what they meant to do. Whether they're just trying to get something on it to misdirect the goalkeeper, or whether he somehow knew exactly where the post was. But it was definitely not going in until he touched it. So I'm glad that he did. And it was a good instinctive finish at worst, I think.
I think he meant it. And the reason I'm going to say that is you see the amount of back heels he does in open play. And to be fair, when he actually connects to it, I've said it before. I think it's one of the best parts of his game is those back heels. Sometimes the player's not there, but then that's just gelling in terms of them maybe not anticipating that he might do a 1-2 that way. Um, but I'd say 8, if not 9 times out of 10, he's connecting with that back heel nicely, and the weight is always there. So I think he meant it. I do think he meant it. But I will say I think the goalkeeper doesn't do enough, and that's not me taking any away from Jackson. I thought he had a great game. I thought it's one of the best games he's had for us. Um, but yeah, the goalkeeper's not alert, and the goalkeeper's not even reacting to Palmer doing anything, let alone Jackson.
Yeah, I think out of the three that well, I think Palmer's goal, his positioning was terrible for Palmer's goal.
Oh,
The keeper, I think he's
what?
far too
Sorry, I
close.
thought you meant Palmer. Then that's why I got really.
No, no,
I'm
no.
with you now.
I
I'm
think
with you now. I'm with you
and
now.
Palmer's come out afterwards and said like he saw that the goalkeeper just seemed a bit to the right, or to the goalkeeper's right, of where he should have been. And I agree, like it just doesn't feel right that there was that much space on the near side.
I'm
And
pretty sure the pundits said the
it's-
same thing. Actually, now
yeah,
I mention it. Yeah.
I used to rate Dubravka when he was sort of first choice at Newcastle years ago, and I thought he was a good goalkeeper. And I don't know whether it's lack of match practice or what, but he wasn't at it in that game. The Mudryk
I,
goal, I'm not sure he could have done a hell of a lot better. I think if he stops it, it's a world class kind of save, and he's come out rushed out and stopped it. But you're right. I think the other two he had a chance of saving.
yeah, I think it's actually quite tough. I don't think there's enough emphasis actually for goalkeepers when we're talking about match situations and match sort of fitness or alertness. Not they have to be fit, but in terms of alertness and the positioning, because we see enough videos about goalkeeper drills and it's more quick reactions. Do you know what I mean? In terms
Yeah,
of speed, whether it's a late dive to go to a certain ball, and then 2 balls are being kicked to you, you got a late decision to go left or right, depending on where a hand goes from the coach or whatever it is. It's all about speed and then jumping
yeah.
up back to your feet.
Or they put like the water bottles on the floor and they kick it
Yeah,
along the floor and it pits out, and they've just got to try and save it.
but you don't see much about positioning and
No,
and anything in that space as well. Again, I don't know how often that back line's played together. They've had a few injuries in that back line, and also, they brought on some subs for the back line as well, so that will have an impact. Um,
yeah,
so I get that, but again, that's not an excuse or reason, but I do think that I think it's hard for goalkeepers to come into games sometimes. I really do.
I think I saw a stat after the game while I was still at the stadium, and it was something like games what like lost with Nick Pope like 1 or something, and then it was like games lost without Nick Pope, and it was like 9 or 10. I think Nick Pope is a big miss for them. He's a very good goalkeeper. He's very big, and
He's one of my
arguably he's England number 1.
he's one of my favorite goalkeepers in the league. Like I've said this to you before, not on here, because I don't think it's ever really come up. But when we were like, oh, we need a goalkeeper, the fact that Newcastle signed him from Burnley for a decent price, I think it was like, was it 30 mil?
I don't think it was even that much.
You know what I mean?
I think
It was a
20 odd.
steal. It was
Yeah.
an absolute steal. And I'm sitting there going, how have we not jumped on this? And I still believe that to this day. The only downside to Pope is obviously he's now had 2 dislocated shoulders. And every time that's why he's out again. And every time you dislocate something, especially a shoulder, it weakens. And also, I heard Ben Foster, talk about this on his podcast when it first happened. And it was really interesting because he was giving it obviously from a goalkeeper's point of view. And he was like, yeah, the problem is that you got to strengthen it. But when you strengthen it, you actually lose elasticity in that arm for like reaching the top bins and stuff like that. So you actually lose a bit. So it may impact him in the future, but I still think he's up there as one of my favorite goalkeepers. And to be fair, out of all the England goalkeepers, fully fit, Pope's my number 1.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's the best. I think he's the best all-round goalkeeper. I think Southgate has his favourite that's never let him down, and I think Pickford's ball play is significantly better. Yeah, distribution, that's better. Is significantly better, but I think Pope in shots. I'd have Pope in shot stopping. Obviously, crosses and corners. He's significantly taller and therefore easier to claim the balls, and I think he's better at it. So yeah, I think he's a big miss for them. I do think that they were in a similar position to us. Like Dan Burn playing left back, he's done it. It's not really where he wants to be playing or where he should be playing, but he's played in that position in a similar vein to Disasi's had to play at right back for us at times. And I don't really want to take too much away from us on the injuries, bearing in mind how many injuries we've had this season and how much we've had to struggle through them. And even currently, we've got a number of injuries. And it's unfortunately part of the game. You can't just have your best 11 out every week.
When was the last time we had our best 11 out? We're talking seasons.
Yeah, so I think I thought that was one of those games where we were relatively evenly matched going into the game on paper. And I think we've come out on top and deserved to come out on top. I was worried because of how Chelsea have been this season and the previous season in terms of conceding late goals and sort of giving things away. But actually, from Newcastle's performance, there wasn't a lot there that they should have scored or they're unlucky not to score. I think we limited them massively to chances other than the ones that we gave them. Again, that's
absolutely, what we did. And unfortunately, it's a good sign to a certain degree, but it's a bad sign that it's again our mistakes.
Still happening,
and that second one came quite late on. It was like 88th minute, something like that, and we had 6 minutes extra time. You're then going, fuck me, if they get one more goal now, like this, it feels. It will almost feel like a fucking defeat.
Yeah. I was very much.
Yeah.
I was creaking in my boots.
Yeah, but we held on. We'll take it. And again, that's what the second game that defensive line's played together all season.
It can't be. Because Cucurella came into the team then, and Chalobah only came in a few games before, so I think they'd never played together as a four.
No, I'm pretty sure that was they played in the last game. Those 4. Because Cucurella
didn't play.
Who did?
Cucurella didn't play, did he? In the game before, that was his first game back, wasn't it?
No, it's his second. Because I remember putting Gusto at left back because I didn't want Cucurella to play, and he played Cucurella, and I was like, oh god.
Who was the game before this then?
Oh no!
I think you're making up Porky's here. I think
Brentford.
Cucurella's first game back.
It was Brentford.
I don't think Cucurella was playing.
No, because Chilwell was injured.
Doesn't mean Cucurella was fit.
Unless we played Colwell, but I don't think we did play Colwell there.
So against Brentford was the game before. Chilwell was still fit.
Was he?
Chilwell started. Colwell. We played five at the back. Chilwell started left wing back. Colwell left back, left centre.
Oh, I stand corrected. I apologize. I apologize. All
Yeah,
right,
I'm
first.
sure that
That's
was.
the first time. Then I got one. I
Yeah,
was one away. So yeah, from that point of view as well, because I'd love to know how many bloody different defensive lines we've had this year, or this season.
a lot.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not a bad outcome,
Yeah,
realistically. The third goal, we haven't really covered that much. Sorry, excuse me.
yeah,
Um, I thought Jackson did really well. Holding up the ball, that little turn on the wing. I felt a bit sorry for Gallagher because obviously he's literally just turned with the ball, but it's laid off of Mudryk who's doing a great run through the
yeah,
middle. I don't think it was on purpose. I think he's done it by accident, and the timing's just been that little bit off. But I'm glad he did because actually, when you look at it, everyone's going to Gallagher, which allows Mudryk to get through. So I'm glad he's done it. And what a finish. I mean, I thought he could have hit the ball a little bit harder because I was worried that the Newcastle player was going to hit the ball off the line. But a great goal and a great cameo. He came on again off the bench, and I thought he played really well. I thought he was a very positive sub.
yeah. I mean, to be honest, Raheem Sterling made him look fucking great. That bloke. I don't know if Opta record the stats for most one-on-ones fucked up, but he must be double digits for the season on one-on-ones or two-on-ones that he's fucked up royally. I don't get it. I don't understand how you, with that much pace, can fuck them up that often. It's madness.
Well, funny enough, I read an article. I meant to write it down. I saved the picture somewhere, so I can check it if you want me to get the full stats.
Yeah.
But I believe that Sterling and Mudryk either have the exact same kind of goal and assist ratio.
Right.
Obviously, Mudryk's is in fewer minutes. If not,
Yeah.
Mudryk's is slightly better, and then with less minutes played. Um, you know, Sterling's a sort of a big name that's flirting around with being sold this summer. I mean, I personally think he's done okay this season overall. But I've said it before. I don't think he's got a good first touch. His pace saved him
Mm.
there, but his decision making. I mean, Palmer was open. He
Yeah.
had two opportunities just to fucking pass that ball, and the greedy bastard, because he wanted to score more goals this season, and it's just like, just be a fucking team player. Like, stop being selfish. If you're good at being selfish, I wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
You're not. Like, you're not that good. There's been too much hype about him. It's in his head for so long. Like, just pass the ball. That would have been 4 goals. That should have been a goal.
Mm.
But there is no. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. Explanation or realization or whatever it is that you can honestly turn around and justify not passing that ball.
Not
It
with,
was open.
especially with how many he's made that same decision on this season and not scored. You just kind of go like, at some point, someone's got to sit him down and be like, look, you're taking the piss at this point. We're a team. You've shown that you're not burying them. If you were burying them, it would be absolutely fine. You haven't buried
Yeah.
them. Fucking ship it. Have a look round to see what the fuck's going on and ship it to someone that's in a better position.
And it's not as if Palmer won't be calling, because Palmer will call.
Mm.
And you should still be looking up. Like, he had enough opportunities as he was running to the box to see him in the corner of his eye. And at one point, he's pointed slightly towards him, obviously not running towards him, because then he'd be running away from goal. But he knows he's there. Like, he knows he's there.
To be honest, even if he doesn't, there's no excuse that he doesn't know that he's there.
But there should be somebody there anyway. But
Yeah, he should have an idea of what's going on around him, and he should know. And I get that, like the big strikers, you hear on Match Today with like Alan Shearer talking about how it makes more sense to shoot because the pass, the pass is just adding something that could go wrong. But when there's that many opportunities that he's done and missed, and also it's not like it's the perfect situation. There are defenders there. There's a goalkeeper that he's got to beat, and it's not like a desperately easy one-on-one. He ships that across to the other side as a tap in.
Well, there are covering players, I will say that, but Palmer will have had so much space, he'd have time to take a shot and pick where he wants to shoot.
Mm.
And that's the big difference for me. The first time, if he gets the ball straight away, I think he can hit it first time because the goals will be open. Because of that touch, Burns then got back. There are two players basically on the bloody line, and Burns bound to have to come out. They're both bound to push out when they see Palmer on the ball because that's what you do as a defender. You push out, and Newcastle would. So he'd have to pick his spot. But at the two, regardless of the situation, I'm going to choose Palmer to take a shot over Sterling.
But I think you should have passed it earlier. I think you
I agree.
Passed it
as soon as he gets into the box, ship it.
Not even. I would even argue before then. You've got a basic pass across, like he's in front of the two Newcastle players, and Palmer's sort of like not quite level with them. But if you ship it all the way over there, goalkeeper's here and has to get across the goal. In theory, from even an incredibly average pass, it should be a very easy goal to score.
Yeah, but to be fair, he's not good at those. We've seen him through.
He's not, but like.
But also, I actually don't think he can do it because he did not have that ball under control until he got into the box. Like I'm not being funny. I've said it before. His ball control, fucking awful. I thought he was going to lose it. I honestly thought he was going to lose it. And then when he took the shot, I was like, "You absolute twat." But I've got the stuff here. So Sterling has 6 goals and 3 assists from 21 starts and 1,819 minutes. Mudryk, on the other hand, he's got 4 goals, 2 assists from 9 starts, and he's only played 908 minutes. So Sterling's got almost double, actually just over double.
Double the minutes.
Double minutes.
What? How many more goal involvements?
He's got 6 goals. Mudryk's got 4. Sterling's got 3 assists, and Mudryk has 2.
Yeah.
So actually, he's only
a conservative double, and he is per minute he's doing a lot better.
And he's got better on. He has got better, to be fair. And
I think Sterling's declined. I think he started the season quite well, and he
does this. He starts the season well. He then dips in the middle, and then he ends the season really well.
Well, fucking fingers crossed. Let's see that. Don't know what point that's supposed to start.
Well, he does. He's already come out and said he doesn't want to leave Chelsea this summer. He wants to stay. And I'm surprised when he's on 320k a week. So, yeah.
Let's not obsess over a negative on a win.
No, I know, but just wound me up. Especially when you get that late goal as well. You're going, do you know what? If we're 4 up, and we got 2 goals in 30 seconds, you wouldn't care that they got that second goal.
Yeah.
You're like, nah, they're not gonna get 2 more in 6 minutes. Like, they're not. So, yeah. But overall, I thought, it was a good performance. We've got a game in hand still. So if we beat Spurs at home, whenever that game in hand is, then we can go up to 9th, depending on Wolves and their results as well, by the sounds of it.
Yeah. Well, I think we're above Wolves if we win our game in hand.
Yeah, I think so. But obviously, I don't know when the game at hand is. So it could be that we lose the game and then actually it's null and void.
Yeah. True.
So man of the match, Cole Palmer, I believe, was awarded it. Who are you going with?
I do think it has to be Cole on the basis of he got a goal and an assist. And he played incredibly well. I think Gusto was incredible, especially in the first half against Anthony Gordon, who barely had a sniff. He had to switch sides.
Yeah, exactly.
So, again, it is the usual suspects that had a very good game. I think Connor was good. And I think Connor was good in the last 10 minutes. He kept going and kept tackling, and he seemed to be a bit of a catalyst towards the end of the game.
So that's Connor's biggest strength. Yeah. He doesn't stop. So
I thought Jackson played well.
I honestly think it's arguably the best performance I've seen Jackson play. It's definitely up there for me.
It was a good, yeah. It was a good
He
performance.
was he was winning the first ball, whether it was from our goalkeeper or from defensive play. He was flicking it on. He was the one who flicked the ball onto Sterling. We won't go back
Mm,
into that, but you know what I mean. He's looking stronger. He held up the ball, and then he was turn and run. Like I said,
mm,
massive improvement from what I'd like to see from our striker. So,
mm.
I mean, he's definitely up there for me as well. Isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think generally the midfield played well. I think Enzo played well.
Yes. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that he chose his runs very well in terms of he did sit back a lot, and then I think he went at the right times, and it wasn't fruitful for him, but he didn't leave us exposed when he was doing it.
No, I agree, and I thought he was better in defense as well. And what I really
Mm,
liked was when he was hanging back defensively, like quite deep sometimes. We're talking on the edge of our penalty box. He'd win the ball, a little touch outside or inside, with his right foot, and then he'd ping the ball up top, and not just getting rid, but
mm,
with purpose. So it's nice to see that he could do that even from that deep setting. So I think actually with him changing maybe that position that we've said in the past, I think it's doable, which is good because that will give us more balance.
yeah.
Yeah, and especially
I have thought he's had it in him, but yeah, there's certain games where he just decides that he wants to play Conor Gallagher's position, and it leaves us open and a bit exposed. Um, but yeah, I don't think there's anyone that you kind of point to and go outside of Sterling, point to and go, he's had a shocker. And to be fair, I don't think Sterling had a shocker. It's just a point of I'm sick of him missing one-on-ones. Um, but
but it's
yeah, I think
it's not.
everyone was like a 7 out of 10, other than potentially Sterling. You downgrade a little bit, but everyone was a 7 out of 10 plus. And again, we made a couple of mistakes, and it cost us, but we scored enough that
But again, you
it
look at
wasn't the end of the
it.
world.
Gusto made one mistake. Chalobah
Yeah,
made one mistake. Dizazi made half a mistake, and
yeah,
Cucurella made one mistake on a different goal. You know,
yeah.
so again, I think everyone's got a mistake in them. No one's perfect. I'm
Mm,
still a little bit suspect about Cucurella, but then again, he needs match play.
yeah,
Um, and yeah, Sterling. It's not even the fact that he's crap at one-on-ones. It's the selfishness bit that I don't
yeah.
like. It's the fact just be a team player. Like ship it to that
Mm,
man. Everyone wants to score goals, but you know what? Getting assists is also very fucking important. There's still awards for that and praise for that. So yeah.
I would
Uh,
like to say on Cucurella that obviously he's just come back from an injury. I think even that game, just coming back from an injury, is a drastic improvement on where he was last season.
no, he has been better this season. I've
Yeah.
said that in the past. But I've always said I'm still not like convinced. Like I'm convinced
Mm,
about James and Gusto. I'm like, we got no problems. I love it.
mm,
Thank you. I still have a question mark, especially as he keeps doing that thing where he tries to intercept and it's just leaves us open at the back. Like I said,
yeah.
he's done that play a few times. Um, I think his pace is his saving grace. But look, at the end of the day, it's a win. We'll take it. I'm actually going to say Gusto is my man of the match. I know it's easy to say Palmer with the assist and the goal. The
Yeah.
assist is a cheeky assist. Like, let's face it, he's not
Yeah.
trying to get the assist. He still played really well, but I think they both played well. I think they both link up really well together. And as you said earlier, Gusto keeping Gordon quiet, who, let's face it, in previous games has caused us so many problems.
Mm,
And the fact he's had to switch sides to what I would argue is the weaker fullback,
mm,
it says a lot. And he just seems to be getting better and better. He drives forward, he tracks back, he's got good delivery in the box. Um, he had some decent crosses in there, and I just felt, do you know what? It's easy to give it to Cole Palmer. Not that it's not deserved.
yeah.
But for me, yeah, I thought he was absolutely outstanding. Like by that one little blip,
Yeah.
he kicked the ball
I,
up.
I think he is such a good player.
He's
The
an
only
absolute steal, mate, for what we paid for as well.
Yeah, the only concern that I've had with him this season has been at times his rashness. and silly decisions where he's just sort of gone through the back of someone we didn't need to and given
You know,
away.
in our final third, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that is slowly he's getting better at that.
I think there's been a massive improvement in that from the first half of the season to
Yeah.
now. Absolutely, yeah.
So yeah, he has improved. He still makes odd decisions occasionally, but you can see
21,
there's quality there.
but he's
There's,
21.
yeah, yeah, and I have absolute faith that he will work it out because of his progress this season already. Just in effectively half a year of play with us, he has improved drastically. And even when he first came in, you could see there was a player there, and defensively he's solid. Going forward, he's great. And the only thing that I think Reece James really has over him is shooting.
Yeah,
Strength and shooting, really, are the
he's
two
not.
things.
Yeah, but
Reece
he's
James.
not weak though. Like he doesn't back
No,
up.
but Reece
No,
James is a
no,
unit.
yeah, yeah. No, I know that, but it's not that much difference.
No, it's not. It's not to a point where it's a problem that he's weak.
No,
It's
no.
it's just that Reece James muscles almost everyone off the ball. He's huge, and he's just got a thunderbolt on him, Reece James. But yeah, for what we paid for him, if Cole Palmer hadn't done so well this season, Gusto would be far and away best value for money that we've spent. And I think
I
there is
still
a
think
debate between Cole Palmer and Gusto.
I still think he's actually the best value for money that we spent. But
I just think with
he'd
the
be the player
position
of the
that
season. He'd
Palmer
be player
plays.
of the season if it wasn't for Cole Palmer. You're absolutely right.
Oh
With
yeah,
way, stats wise, with goal and assist contributions, I don't know the full title that you would argue. He's now on par with Jude Bellingham.
well I think he's second, right?
No, he's on par.
Top league.
Joint. Bang on joint now. They've both got 19 goals and assist contributions. I think Bellingham's got more goals, less assists, and then not Connor, sorry,
Palmer.
Holt Palmer, a little bit different. Like, yeah. But I mean, they're bang on 19 together in terms of the 21 and below age range.
Yeah.
I mean, that's massive because Jude Bellingham's getting so many plaudits, and quite rightly so. He's doing fantastic over in Real Madrid. He's lapping it up. He deserves every bit of it. Do think he should come to Chelsea, though. Just saying. But yeah, to sort of put him, and I think that just shows where he is because you look at the plaudits Bellingham's getting, you're then going, well, look where Palmer is now.
Mm.
And they're both English. To have two young English players at the top before Euros, I mean, that's good. I was going to say, anything else? Oh, that was it. That was what I was going to say, but we moved on quickly. Gusto, the one thing that I'll say about his rash challenges is I don't think it's stupidity or sloppiness. I think it's being too eager. You know, where some people put in a sloppy challenge because they're nowhere near the ball and like they're behind the game and they're not really with it. For me, that's just him being eager, wanting to get on the ball and wanting to get back up the pitch. Not saying it's right, but I'd rather it being too eager than being lazy, you know?
Yeah. When he's done it, I've always thought it was hot-headedness more than anything.
But I put that
because
with
the situation it's been in. I just think it goes beyond. I don't think it was anything to do with ego. I think he just got frustrated, and I think it's times where he's got a little flick in the face or something, and someone's like put their arm out like this, or they've done something, and he's reacted to it, and he's just got to like nudge them or flown through him, and he is getting better, and I think because he's had a history of it, I think I put the Wolves one in that category, but where he gave away a pen, but I don't actually like. If anyone else had done that, I didn't think it was a rash decision. It was probably just he had to try, and it didn't work for him. And I think harshly, I probably put that as another one in that bracket because that's how I think of him, that he does rash things.
No, he does, but I do think some of them are, like you said, he's more got to do something. There are some which I do think are a little bit out there when the player's holding the ball up on the bloody line.
Yeah, going nowhere, and he's
on the side of the pitch, and they're going nowhere, and then he does go in. But I look at that and kind of going.
And it's been games where we've been winning, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
He's not doing anything. Just leave the bloke to like fucking do nothing.
But again, I think it's that eagerness to show how good you are, to show willing and stuff like that. I really do think that's where it comes from more than anything.
And again, it was the start of the season, and he hasn't been doing it recently. So there's a lot of improvement from him, and that's the only negative that he's got. He's got everything to his game that you could want from a right back. So
wicked. On that note, that'll be the end of our episode. And thank you all for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, follow, hit that notification button, comment below, and stay tuned for the pre-game analysis for Leicester in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, which is happening on Sunday at home. I think it's like 12:45 kickoff, a weird time for a Sunday. And thank you for watching.